Marvin Mims to the NFL draft, and David Ugwoegbu to the transfer portal. Let's talk about what it means for the Sooners to lose these veterans. All that coming up here in about 10 seconds. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Jay here with Unfair Sports, where we take a pensive approach to the sports conversation. Let's talk about Marvin Mims and David Ugwoegbu, veterans on the Sooner roster, heading out of the door, with Marvin Mims going ahead and declaring for the draft, and David Ugwoegbu hitting the transfer portal as a graduate transfer with 2 years of eligibility. But before we do that, hop in the comments, let your boy know, what did it mean having Marvin Mims and David Ugwoegbu on this roster for you as Sooner fans over the last 4 years? How did that feel? What was your thoughts on losing Marvin Mims as well as David Ugwoegbu? Love interacting with you all. Want to get your thoughts on all of that. If you're new to the channel, hit that like, subscribe, and the bell notification. We're growing this bad boy. We'd love to have you along for the ride. We talk a lot of OU football. We talk Colorado football as well, and college football in general. Also, let's jump right into it. Marvin Mims heading out the door. Hurts my heart to see and hear. But guess what? He gave us some great memories, right? We can't be mad about what we got from Marvin Mims. The man was fantastic and electric for the Sooners. So let's look at some of the numbers that he contributed, as well as just, a nice little play that we all loved from Marvin Mims. All right, Mims, Frisco, Texas native, came here 3 years as a senior, and all 3 years he was the leading receiver on the team. Is that something to complain about? Nah, I don't think you complain about having a player like Marvin Mims put up the numbers he did. Career stats: 123 catches, 2,398 yards, averaging 19.5 yards a carry, 20 touchdowns. That's pretty darn good for a career that we had from Marvin Mims. First team All Big 12 selection this past season. He had the 54 catches for 1,083 yards. So he had his first 1,000 yards here as a senior, and he ranks 8th in program history with the yards that he has. And he, did some really special stuff for us. He was a key target. And he was he can blow the top off. And so even though the numbers just aren't groundbreaking based upon the players that we've had in the past, like the CeeDee Lambs of the world or whatnot, he was a great contributor, and it's going to be someone definitely missed. The veteran presence, the ability to get open. Of course, there was a lot to be desired from our boy Mims. I think he potentially had 4 touchdowns that just didn't happen, but he did put up some numbers, and he was consistent. And so because of that, you're going to miss a player like that in the wide receiver room, helping groom the next generation of receivers. You would like to have him here as a senior and let him put up even more numbers. But don't fret. I think that he will do just well in the draft. He's right now, Pro Football Focus has him a grade of 77.5, which is pretty good for him at receivers. 4th on the team behind Eric Gray, Dylan Gabriel, and Wanye Morris. But it does look like my man is definitely going to be drafted probably in the first, 3 rounds. I expect him to be a 2nd or 3rd round pick. At the lowest, I think he may slip to 4th, but it just depends on what teams grade him as and how he does in his pro day as well as the combine itself. So shout out to you, Marvin Mims. Thank you for what you've done for the team. We will miss you. I was really hoping to have you next to Jalil Farouk one more year, but it's okay. With him gone, now it's Jalil Farouk's world. It's all on him. He is the number 1 guy. You still get Drake Stoops to make his valiant return, so that's always a big plus. And then Jaden Gibson as well as Nick Anderson, the young bucks that are the rising stars on the roster. They'll be there. You got LV Buckley Stanley, who's going to be the transfer out there that's going to be doing some things. You should be able to see him. He actually had an appearance against Florida State. So I'm not too, I guess you could say, upset about losing Mims, even though, like I said, I would have loved to have had him more, but I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. Losing him and and Theo Weiss are, 2 big pieces to lose, but I think we'll be just fine with what we have to work with, as well as JJ Hester. He'll get some opportunities to play as well. So we'll grow. And then Andrell Anthony, we just talked about in the last video, the transfer from Michigan. He'll be able to hopefully give us another Marvin Mims Estique type season, just at a taller rate at 6'3", be able to just be a burner and average over 19 yards a catch, because Mims averaged 20 yards a catch this year. You add another guy that averaged 22 yards per catch and then put him in this high octane offense, we should be all right. I'm just going to say it. I think we'll be all right. So be excited about that. That's going to be a big deal coming year. So shout out to Marvin Mims. Good luck to you. Hop in the comments. Let me know what you think about Marvin Mims. Think my take is off? Do you miss him? Are you happy for him? Are you sad not to have him? Give me your best bets. And so let's dive into David Ugwoegbu, the linebacker for the Sooners that we're going to lose to the transfer portal. Now, let's talk about Ugwoegbu, and I'm going to keep it a buck. As many people would like to say that, you know, even with the struggles we had this season, that it may be a good thing. It ain't. Not a veteran presence like Ugwoegbu, who was a very good contributor. He played 36 games here at Oklahoma over the last 4 seasons, 208 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, and 4 sacks. Some pretty good numbers for a player that's no longer going to be here. You know what I'm saying? You're losing some real contributions. 6'4" linebacker this season. He started every game this year, played in every game, 109 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. And so he was one of 3 linebackers to play over 900 snaps this season, which was at 919. It's not something that you just say, we'll be all right type deal. No, losing that veteran presence is tough. While at the same time, Coach Brent Venables and staff is retooling what we're doing here at Oklahoma. And so I trust in BV. You know, if you like the shirt, I got it on my site. Link is in the bio. It will be coming down end of the month, so get your orders in ASAP. But I don't see losing a player like Ugwoegbu too critical. It does hurt because the veteran presence is great, but with the retooling we're doing at the defensive side, you're going to see a lot of players get more playing time, like Jaron Kanik, as well as Kobe McKenzie or Kip Lewis. Then bringing in Dasan McCullough, from the transfer portal. Phil Pachotti, he may actually get some game. Lewis Carter, Derek LeBlanc will slide back. There's so many options that we have coming in at the linebacker position. I think we'll be okay. But especially speaking on Dasan McCullough, that cheetah role is his since we're going to lose Deshaun White. He could slide into some linebacker too. We can mix it up. There's a lot of options out there. I was listening to Teddy Lehman talk about that, and he's like, you may see McCullough over at the linebacker position. And then, of course, with them both wearing number 2, it made sense that the number 2 leaves because the other number 2 can come in, take the position and the number. Whatevs, but I am stoked at what we have in the chamber. It's sad to see a player like Ugwoegbu go because you love having veterans, but he's a grad transfer, had an opportunity to go out there and play at least one more year after being here for 4 years, 2, presumably with the COVID year. And then at the same time, he can go do what he needs to do to get his draft stock up and just, play college football. So we appreciate you. You got your degree from here, so you're definitely a Sooner for life. And we love what you've done for the team. So outside of that, hop in the comments. Let your boy know how you feel about Ugwoegbu bouncing to the transfer portal, as well as Marvin Mims hitting the draft. Wished him the best wishes, as we always do around here. We show nothing but love to these players because we understand life happens. And outside of that, thanks for pulling up here to Unfair Sports. Hit the like, subscribe, and the bell notification to get this fire content. I'm kidding, but at the same time, I do want y'all to hit those buttons. You made it this far, you may as well do it right. And with that, we'll chop it up, a day or 2 and some change. Peace.